It makes sense.
Yeah.
Biden says troops should be dishonorably discharged if they disobey order to get COVID vaccine.
So the commander's using the wrong phrase. Huh?
The House is set to vote on the NDAA, the Pentagon's annual defense budget. Last month, they mandated all 1.4 million service members get vaccinated. An amendment passed during committee markup prohibits giving service members who refuse a vaccine anything but an honorable discharge. White House said that commanders must have the ability to give orders and take appropriate disciplinary measures, including enforcing the vaccine mandate. The White House also took issue with the section of the bill that exempts those who had the previous COVID-19 infection from the vaccine mandate. Now, that is insane.
So a dishonorable discharge, the difference between that is a dishonorable discharge means it can only be administered by a court martial. Right. So that means you're actually going into a military trial, that you've got a JAG, you've got a military judge, etc. You are facing charges, and then that whole process plays out. So the other ones that we were talking about are forms of administrative, but for dishonorable discharge, I mean, you have to
there's medical discharge, right?
There's medical discharge. Yeah, a lot of people, obviously, if you can get discharged for various reasons. It's not always something like negative. And then when you leave, if you want to retire, if you want to resign, if you're an officer, that's still considered a discharge. A discharge by itself doesn't necessarily mean something negative occurred.
If you're an officer and you resign,
everyone is discharged, right?
Right. If you're an officer and you resign, it's honorable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anything other than honorable discharge would be not dishonorable discharge. That's a different thing. There's no court martial involved.
What I'm saying is, dishonorable discharge means that you've gone through court martial and you are out. You are booted.
So you could have anything other than honorable discharge without a court martial. Is that what you're saying?
Right. That would all fall under these various forms of administrative discharge.
So it doesn't seem like the people who refuse the vaccine as of right now will be dishonorably discharged.
No.
But Biden wants that to be the case.
But he says he wants it. So that means he wants to carry out what he said, which I don't think he understands what he's talking about, even though he had two sons in the military. He doesn't seem to know very much about the military.
What do you do when your commander surrenders a war that you're winning and then makes horrible decisions after that?
Your commander-in-chief, you mean?
Yeah.
You transfer to the Air Force.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But I mean, legit, as the generals in the Army, when the commander does that, what are you supposed to do?
Well, if it's Rome, the centurions would, go to the senator or go to the emperor and demand some form of tribute. The Praetorian Guard, of course, would go and demand a form of tribute from them.
Well, what are the generals supposed to do if he surrendered us to the Taliban and now he's like
I read more and more. I think that was on purpose.
Huh.
I just more and more you learn about what's going on with the mineral deposits, the deal from China cutting with the Taliban. It's there's I wouldn't want to say I believe it's entirely probable or even likely, but there's that possibility. Joe Biden's done deals with China and his son, and he's hooking them up.